All right, boys and girls, here we go. The last big ideas thing for the chemistry. The test is coming up soon, so hopefully this helps put some of my big ideas together, and you can make it all connect. So first question: why do elements react to form compounds? So first of all, when elements react with each other, or a different element, they react on the electron level. Okay, so they either share or take or give electrons. All right, so making bonds and forming compounds is all about electrons, all right, and how they share or take them. So the question would be, why do they do that? Well, each atom wants to gain 8 electrons. It's called the octet rule. So what the octet rule tells you is that an element wants to have 8 electrons in its valence shell, which is outermost electrons, to become stable or to become comfortable, all right? If an element doesn't have 8 in its valence shell, then it's either going to lose or gain accordingly, all right, to form or react and to make compounds. So the only exception to this rule would be hydrogen and helium, because they only have 1 energy level and they only want to have 2 in their valence shell. Everything else wants to get 8, all right? So why do elements react? The basic reason is the octet rule drives it, which means they want to get 8 electrons in their valence shell. And the only exceptions to that rule would be hydrogen and helium. They only want to get 2. All right. And remember, when elements react to form compounds or other molecules, they react on the electron level, not on any other level, on the electrons. So what information does electron configuration tell you, and why is it useful? Well, it tells you your valence electrons, for one. Okay, valence electrons. It can tell you how the atomic radius, which would be a trend we talked about. Okay, the bigger an atom is in radius, the easier it is to get rid of an electron. The more protons it has, the more pull it has on those electrons to get them closer, so the radius gets smaller. All right. So valence electrons, atomic radius, it tells you the location of every electron. Location of all the electrons on every level and in every sublevel. All right. And remember, your sublevels are going to be S, P, D, and F. And in your sublevels, the S can fit 2, the P can fit 6, the D can fit 10 electrons, and the F can fit 14. So why is this useful? It tells you how elements are going to react, what it could react with and what it can't react with. All right. So it's useful when we start making compounds and forming reactions, so we have the basic knowledge to understand what's going on with this stuff. And then the last thing, looking at the periodic table, which you should have a periodic table, tell me everything you can about element F, which is fluorine. Well, here's fluorine right here. All right. Right now I can tell you it's in period 2, which means it's in row 2. It's in group 7 or 17, which means it has 7 valence electrons. I can tell you the electron configuration, which is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. I can tell you that it wants to gain an electron to get 8 in its outermost shell, so it's going to make a -1 ion. All right. I can tell you that the atomic radius is smaller than lithium. I can tell you that the atomic radius is smaller than iodine. I can tell you the electronegativity is very high because of the trends, all right, because it increases this way. I can tell you the ionization energy is very high as well because it wants to hold on to its electrons. I can tell you the atomic number is 9. I can tell you that the atomic weight is 18.9. The mass number is 19, which you round. I can tell you that 19 minus 9 gives me 10 neutrons. I can tell you normally without a charge it's going to have 9 electrons because it's going to be the same as your protons. So those are a bunch of things that we can tell just by looking at the periodic table. All right, and hopefully you get to that point where you can tell those things just by looking at the periodic table and where its location is and how it behaves and things like that, which is going to be useful for the next couple of units. All right, so this was a quick rundown version. If you need to replay some of it because I went too fast, sorry, but you can always replay it. That's why it's a video. And then if you have more questions, feel free to ask in class. All right, hope this helped. Take care.